Carl and Dan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it is, of course, track by track time as making their second appearance on this series. It's PUP. With the album The Dream Is Over. It's their second album, released May 27th, 2016 through Royal Mountain Records in Canada and Side 1W Records worldwide. I thought it was really interesting. This album was recorded with the financial support of Canada's private radio broadcasters. It's like, okay, wow. And do you know the album title, where it comes from?
I do, yes.
You do. From the doctor of lead singer Stefan Babcock's.
Yes.
It's basically about his doctor. The doctor found out about a problem with his vocal cords. The dream is over.
Yeah, because Stefan had been a vocalist in a number of different bands. One being called they were a ska band and they had a really dumb name. A really stupid name. Oh, what was it called? I think it was like Drop, Stop and Skank or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
I know I've got the file somewhere here. PUP were called Topanga before they were called PUP.
Yeah.
But I know Stefan was in a number of bands beforehand as a vocalist, shouting and screaming.
Really?
It is Stop, Drop, and Skank. It is that. That's what it's called.
Yep, Stop, Drop, N, and just the N, not and, N, Skank. Yeah, I like it. It gets across completely what it is. I would see that and be like, they sound like a fun ska band.
Yeah. So yeah, he had problems with his vocal cords. You could tell as well. If you'd seen them live, or like seen live videos of them near the end of their self-titled touring schedule, you could fucking tell it was not sounding good. Yeah. So he went to the doctor and he literally said the words "The dream is over." So this was meant to be throw fucking everything at the wall, balls to the wall, shout, scream, go mental, because this is the last thing they were planning on doing.
Yeah, and then exit gracefully. Yeah. Fascinating story. And of course, obviously, PUP still exists today. So things worked out as they, as we would hope they would. And I've been getting to know PUP over the last 2 years, mainly through you and your recommendations of certain things. And most of the time, I love what they do. I thoroughly enjoy what they do. There's the occasional track here and there that maybe doesn't work for me and so on. It depends what version of PUP I'm listening to. That's the kind of thing. While overall, I think there's a recognizable PUP sound, there are variations in PUP style. And that sometimes is where things change for me. But like, that's me. I think you're a bigger fan than I am, obviously.
Oh, I'm a massive fan of PUP. I love them. Every time they come to the UK or London, I'm there. They're fucking fantastic. I love them. But yeah, there is a very different, depending on what area you're listening to or whatever they're playing.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking mood they're in, they play different sounds.
Yeah, and so basically I wasn't that familiar with this album, bar recognizing a track or two that I guess I'd come across as singles. So we dive in with If This Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will. Hey, let's just mention here that PUP's ability to come up with good titles, not just for their albums, but also their tracks, is always well worth praising, because I was immediately like, I love that, the title of that song. The straightforward lyrical content makes me smile. It is very much PUP, as is the melody that builds to a blast of punk rock intensity and energy. It's a good, fun start for me.
I think you'd love the music video for this song. It's funny, it's stupid. It is literally them just like at a gas station, and then they all just like start fighting and scream like, it gets really violent. Like,
oh, I like that. That actually makes a lot of sense in the context of the song. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, If This Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will, the start for this album. Considering how heavily PUP tour as well, it makes sense, because they are like on tour like 300 days out of the year, every year. So it makes sense, and it's a fantastic entrance to this album as a whole.
Agreed. DVP, this is my jam. It is a bit manic, but it's also very infectious. The vigorous pace and fiery vocals, broken up by crowd-pleasing melody and crooning. It is a good piece of music that just doesn't overstay its welcome. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's short, sweet, aggressive, catchy as shit. You've got those big crowd moments. This one does pop off live, I can say that now.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Doubts. I'm a big fan of them stretching their punk rock muscles and moving away from the limitations of the genre. Here, I think they get a little bit more experimental, and it's got anthemic flavors as they vary the tempo up constantly.
Yeah, Doubts is a great track. It stands really well on its own. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Not what I can say.
Sleep in the Heat, a punchy and flavor-filled track that leans more towards the pop punk world rather than punk rock. No complaints though, this one got so stuck in my head. One of the catchiest tracks on the album, and I'm going to say it, one of the catchiest tracks I've ever heard from PUP. And that is saying a freaking lot about this band.
Yeah, this is one of those classic PUP songs where it sounds super happy, but it's actually really upsetting if you read the lyrics. Obviously, it's about his pet lizard that died. You know, you've got that massive moment at the end where it's like, "You're not waking up," and it's upsetting, man.
Anybody that's ever lost a pet can relate.
Yeah. Massively upsetting and standout track on the album for sure.
Absolutely. The Coast. I think there's a fair bit more melodrama in this track, evident by the melodies and crashing instrumental noise that kicks in when it is time to go a bit heavier. As the track goes on, they really pour a lot of passion into this one, and it pays off. It's a good track again.
It is one of the standout tracks for PUP. It's very different, I think. Melodramatic is the right word. I like that they're telling a story about this lake that, you know, swallows people whole, allegedly. And I remember I've been a massive fan of this track for ages, and they never play it live. They never do. It's a weird one for them. But the first time I went to see them, they did play it live just at that show. None of the other ones on the tour. I was like, what the fuck? I feel like they played this just for me. Like, because I really wanted them to. It's great. It was great live. It's great on record. I recommend.
I do love that. I do love what's call it when you want to hear a song played live from a band, and they never really play it live as far as you're aware, or they don't because of limitations and stuff like that. And then they just happen to play it that one time when you're there. Although I've heard it live, that reminds me of like Arctangent Just Gone. And I went to see Sugar Horse, and I said to Lou, my wife, I said, if they play Full Spectrum in Hell at any point during the set, I'll be very, very happy, man. They opened with it. And I was just like, done. I'm happy. That's it. Yeah. Old Wounds, taking some props from old school punk. This is a hefty and frenetic banger that I no doubt believe that the pit is just a pit. This is a fast-paced go, 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 go.
Yeah. I wish they play this one live as well. They don't for some fucking reason. But I love Old Wounds. I love when softer bands go more heavy. But it's like, it's sort of sassy. Like there's certain parts that are just like, nah, fuck you, get out of my face. You like, it's unapologetically pissed off, and I love it.
Yeah. My life is over and I couldn't be happier. Dare I say it, this is punk rock 101. But I don't mean that as an insult. That's the thing. I thoroughly enjoy PUP's punk rock sound, and even when they're being a bit more basic, there's still experimental touches in this that make it stand out. It's an interesting track.
I don't even know why you're so pissed. You sound such a piece of shit. That wasn't subtle at all.
Yeah, it's a great song. And do you know the meaning behind it? It's like fucking weird. I think it was Stefan got home really drunk and basically started masturbating. And his girlfriend at the time caught him and just like immediately like flew off the wall. And that's what it's about. Rather strange to write a song about.
I mean, get your inspiration wherever the hell you need it, you know? Absolutely. Wow, yeah. Okay, Can't Win. there's a defiance to this one, and I really like the relatable lyrical content and overall tone of the track. It's also really infectious. The chorus is killer. It's another big track on an album that's kind of filled with them.
Yeah, it's got that massive chorus section that I think would be great live, which once again they don't play because they're a bunch of dickheads. So many tracks off this album that I wish they would play live.
Yes, eventually when, what are we, 2016, so 2026, it's 10 years old, you never know, you might get a 10-year anniversary tour when they play the album in full.
Hopefully.
We're up to the penultimate track already. It's Familiar Patterns, and it's a frenzy of punk rock, moving and grooving with a strong melodic undercurrent. No complaints from me?
No complaints there either. It's a great track. Very memorable.
Very memorable indeed, which brings us to Pine Point, one of the more unique tracks on this album. PUP combined delinquent melody with powerful atmosphere and one hell of a chorus. This has such a weird old school rock ballad feel without it actually being that in any way, shape or form. It is a very cool ending, and I would love to see this played live.
I would as well. I could say that about any PUP track though. It's like, as you said, what you said, but still unapologetically PUP. You've still got that sound. You know, you've got the whiny vocals. It's still them, and it's great. You know, you've got that big. It's great.
Flourish.
I'm gonna shut up.
Such a big flourish. Yeah. It is a great album overall. Nothing on there that I thought was bad. Nothing that I was disappointed by. Some of my favorite PUP tracks now exist from this album. So, hey, it's done that for me. Which brings us to the top three. The three tracks we recommend. So you can go first with this one.
Oh, shit. No, you go first.
Okay, well, I'm choosing DVP, Sleep in the Heat, and Can't Win.
I struggle with this, but I'm going to go Sleep in the Heat, Old Wounds, and Familiar Patterns.
That's not bad. I mean, there you go. You've chosen, we both hit Sleep in the Heat, and you've chosen two of the faster, energetic, like punkier ones. Yeah, so, and yeah, plenty of big choruses and all of that. Again, we'd say this about a lot of different albums we've done in this track by track series. Just go listen to the whole bloody thing. It's not that long. You'll have a good time. And you know what to do? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.